Welcome to part 1 of my video documenting my latest trip to northern Spain. It's late May and the time has arrived for myself and two mates to have an adventure to the PICOS de Europa for a 10-day trip navigating the amazing twisty roads which are blended into some of the most outstanding scenic mountains in Europe. We started our journey south from St Malo, northern France via the ferry from Portsmouth. After an overnight sail we set off nice and early for the epic 850-mile ride down through France into northern Spain. Well, the plan was to get to the Picos on the evening of day 2, but it ended up taking longer than planned and we eventually got to the Picos area on day 3. Personally, I wouldn't recommend driving through France, much better to get the ferry to Santander or Bilbao. There's not much to see in France unless you want to take in some of the lovely western coast, and you can make that part of your trip. Otherwise it's a very long, tedious journey. Well, after 3 days of riding we finally settled down at our base camp, the beautiful ancient town of PICOS. Now this little town is a great base to explore the Picos and surrounding areas, with great roads and gravel mountain passes right on our doorstep. The area is full of old mountain passes that appear to be freely open to everyone. We certainly took advantage of these and rode miles of these trails, a great way of getting out into the middle of these incredible mountains. You can turn around on the spot using your foot stand.
Full start. So if I can hide it quite. Yeah, we have coming down. Where's Kev going to turn round? Right, Kev, right. Jesus. Well done, buddy. Look at that. Now we've got to get some photographs here, guys. Silly ones. Aaron, get yourself up there.
I'm going up here.
You went?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you now.
Well, I suppose it's inevitable. We did have a few scrapes. I got off quite lightly, but Kev's bike did sustain some considerable damage to his fuel tank, as well as him injuring his shoulder. Always a risk of off-road riding. Thankfully, we all managed to get back to camp okay. Now the PICOS aren't just an off-road paradise, it's an absolute joy to ride the miles of scenic twisties passing through quaint villages for a coffee or a cold beer. But motorcycling on these roads are dangerous, and it can change in a blink of an eye. That's what happened whilst riding the infamous N621. Catastrophe was just around the corner. Whilst approaching a fast bend, Aaron's ABS failed and locked up his rear wheel. This sent him and his beautifully restored BMW Dakar careering into the barrier. Thankfully, Aaron was okay down to good protective clothing. His bike, however, didn't fare so well and it sustained some major damage. Though rideable, the handlebars, switchgear and the instrumentation were badly damaged. The next day was spent getting his handlebars re-welded and straightened by the local fabricator. Then we patched up his bike the best we could with cable ties, glue and duct tape. This enabled him to carefully continue his trip. Well, after a great week in Spain, because of unfavourable ferry timings, Kev and Aaron had to cut their trip short to return home.
Good trip, boys. Well done. Nice one, dude. Well done, mate.
Pleasure to meet you, Aaron.
Well done, Phil. Well done, navigating. Wow. Let's see, get back, mate. Let's hope so. We'll stop with tasting.
Well, for me, my second adventure was just about to begin. I was to stay in Spain riding solo for another week to attempt the 800-mile ACT Pyrenees trail. So we said our farewells, and then suddenly they were gone. I must admit, it was sad seeing them go, and I did feel a little bit apprehensive about riding solo deep into the Spanish and French Pyrenees. But that was always the plan. So off I set, riding east to the starting point of the ACT Pyrenees trail.